Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith.
And I'm student meteorologist Michael Anand.
It was a beautiful day outside today, just like it's been for the last couple of days, right?
Yeah, you have those cool mornings.
Yeah.
And then by the afternoon, it's warm enough where you can take off that jacket, even wear some like short sleeves or short pants.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wore shorts today. I ditched the jeans finally after all that cold front that came through just before Halloween. So
yeah.
It's been a nice day. We're going to be trending to a little warmer, though, for the rest of the week.
Yeah, but compared to earlier this fall, those dew points are going to remain lower than usual, so
yeah,
it'll still feel comfortable outside. Like, I'm going to play some golf tomorrow, and it's going to be perfect.
Yeah,
it's
a perfect day for golf. You'll have our outdoors and events forecast. We also have the North Florida Fair starting tonight.
Yep.
You can go to that.
Goes through next week also.
We'll have your opening day forecast later on in the show, but we're going to take it out to the wall now with Sammy, who has a look at our overview.
Thanks, guys. First off, let's look at our sky cam. We have beautiful conditions right now, and it's pretty much been like this all day. But if we take a look at our current temperatures, we're around 81 degrees, which is right above the average, actually, and kind of close to the record, but our low was around 49. Right now, we are 78 degrees and partly cloudy, but our dew point and humidity is very low, making it very comfortable outside for us. And our current temperatures around the Big Bend area, 80 in Perry, 78 over in Tallahassee, and back to 80 with Mariana, and around 81 in that Bainbridge area. The past 20 hours, we have gone up significantly. Through about 5 p.m., you could see the temperatures drop over in the morning and all the way up throughout the day, and we are going to be expecting similar temperatures throughout the next few days as well. Our weather headlines include clear skies for the next few days, and we have that 20-degree temperature swing, like I just mentioned before, and possibly a front coming up next week. But now we're going to take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Sammy. So the last few weeks, we have started this tradition on Thursday of picking our weekly states.
Yeah, I'm excited to pick a state finally. I've always wanted to pick a state, and this is my dream that has come true. So would you like to shake up the thing for me? And I'll pick the one. All right, see what state we get. We have Kansas. Kansas.
Ooh, Kansas.
Oh, Kansas.
Yep, interesting.
Interesting. You have the Jersey forecast coming up later on.
State of New Jersey.
Yeah, but the fun fact about Kansas, Kansas City is both in Kansas and in
Missouri. Yeah.
Who would have known?
Yeah.
Such an interesting fact.
I love, for some reason, when I think of Kansas, I always think of Topeka. I just like the name of Topeka for some reason.
I think of Wichita State, and I think of corn when I think of Kansas. That's my general thought of Kansas. But it's great to see that we'll have Kansas, something in the center part of the U.S. for the first time.
Yeah, and in the plains, corn country, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah, hopefully when the cold front comes through next week, we can see, we're teasing that a little, but when we see that cold front, we might see some temperature drop there for them.
We'll see. Maybe there could be some snow. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
So let's take it out to the wall and look at your local forecast. And currently in Tallahassee, actually today in Tallahassee, we reached a high of 81 degrees. It is above our average, and these warmer conditions are going to persist for the next few days. But what I like about this forecast for these next few days is we start out cooler in the morning. We start out at 49 degrees. You have those cool mornings, and you warm up rather quickly to those low 80s. Now, our high is getting closer to our record, and our low is moving away from our record low. But these are really nice conditions we are experiencing currently in Tallahassee. Currently, it is 78 degrees. That dew point has been increasing each and every day, but it's still very comfortable outside compared to what it has been earlier this fall. And the reason why these dew points are higher than they were the last few days is because the winds are coming from the south at 8 miles per hour currently. And the current temperatures across the Big Bend and South Georgia, Tallahassee is actually cooler than some of the surrounding areas, with 78 in Tallahassee, 81 in Quincy and Bainbridge. And with the winds coming from the south, you're getting that sea breeze. So our cooler temperatures are at Apalachicola and Carabel at 75 degrees. And over the past 20 hours, what we have experienced these last few days, we cool down very quickly and we warm up quickly. You can see, compared to this morning where we were at 50 degrees, we have warmed up really dramatically to 81 degrees by 3 p.m. And the satellite and radar will show you that high pressure has dominated Florida these last few days. We did have a warm front here yesterday in Alabama and Mississippi. That has dissipated, and that's why you saw those showers earlier in the loop in the morning, but that has dissipated as well. These winds are mainly due to high pressure just north of Florida with 8 miles per hour from the south in Tallahassee, and we're getting some east winds in Macon, Albany, and Montgomery. They're at 5 miles per hour and 7 miles per hour, respectively. The 24-hour temperature change shows you it is much warmer in the mid-south compared to what it was yesterday. Part of that was due to that warm front moving through, and also it was raining in Little Rock, Tupelo, and Shreveport yesterday from that warm front. And the futurecast winds here locally in Tallahassee shows you we have those south winds persisting throughout the night. But you can see they'll switch to northerly wind, bringing them some drier air. Those dew points will lower slightly. But the point of these winds are that they're going to give some drier and more comfortable air for us these next few days. And for your evening plans tonight, we're going to cool down quickly with clear skies and dry air. By midnight, we're going to be in the low 60s at 61 degrees. And we'll start out tomorrow morning in the mid-50s. And tomorrow, we'll go from those mid-50s in the morning, and with the dry air and sunny skies, we will warm up quickly to a high of 84 degrees. Perfect plans. I am going to go out to the golf course tomorrow, and I'm going to enjoy this weather. And our 5-day forecast will show you that the sunny conditions will continue, and we'll warm up to those mid-80s by next week. Don't forget, daylight savings is on Saturday evening, so don't forget to move your clocks back 1 hour. Now let's send it off to Dylan.
Thank you very much, Michael. We're going to look around the southeast, and you're going to see only sunshine places are in Key West and Wilmington. And for us, we're seeing some clouds, but the cooler spot on the map, you can see as we go farther out west in the southeast, you're going to see those warmer temperatures with 85 degrees in Shreveport and 80 in Little Rock and New Orleans as well. So it's definitely warmer on the western part with that front that had moved through and warmed things up. Today's lows, you're going to see those also are warmer on the western side. 68 in New Orleans. It's actually warmer in the morning in New Orleans and in Lake Charles, Louisiana, than it was here in Tallahassee. So things are much warmer for them there and cooler for us on the eastern side. We can see, as Michael pointed out, those 24-hour temperature change. 11-degree increase in Tupelo, 16 in Little Rock, and 10 in Shreveport. And that's not the case for the eastern part of the southeast. They're seeing a lot similar temperatures than they were yesterday. But for them, they saw that warm front and really warmed things up. Behind that warm front, though, is a lot of dry air. You see all this brown and yellow indicating those lower dew points, but for us, we're seeing a lot of green. We have the winds out of the south right now, and you can see that southerly wind is really increasing New Orleans to 71 degrees for their dew point. Satellite radar, though, only showing activity in Alabama around Montgomery earlier on in today, but nothing for now. So things have cleared out for a lot of the southeast and has made everything feel a lot more comfortable. For your upper level water vapor, there's not really anything defined, which is good. We're not seeing a lot of moisture, not seeing a lot of dry air, so things are definitely feeling great. For that futurecast, here's that remnants of that front. As we put it into motion, the front starts to dissipate, and we see the rain changes kind of pick up ahead of the next front. There's another cold front that Sammy will show us in the national look that will really make its impact felt in cities in Little Rock, Shreveport, and Montgomery, and a lot of the cities around the southeast are definitely going to feel the impacts with scattered showers ahead of that. Moving into to Shreveport's 3-day forecast, you're going to see those rain chances pick up for the next 2 days. 20% chances, temperatures stay very similar for them. And as we move into Little Rock, shout out to Tevin, home state, 40% chance of rain ahead of that cold front, bringing those rains for them. Jackson, Mississippi, seeing a similar story with those rain chances early on in the week. And Nashville, same thing goes for them. We're going to see those 70% chances of rain, really feeling the brunt of that front. But right now, I'm going to send it over to Michael in the lab for a look of our outlook in Tallahassee.
Thanks, Dylan. So we were talking in our 7-day how it's going to remain warm these next few days. I know, like in the weekend, it was really cold due to that trough. in the eastern part of the U.S., but we've warmed up rather quickly, and this warm air is going to stay for the next week at least. As you can see, the mild air is going to stay across the southern tier of the U.S., and these low pressure systems with their attached cold front are going to stay up to the north, keeping that cooler air bottled up in Canada. And as we transition to how these temperatures are going to be compared to average, they are going to be 10 to 20 degrees above average in the interior south and about 5 to 10 degrees above average along the Gulf Coast. That means 70s in the interior part of the southeast and 80s in Florida and along the Gulf Coast. Now, the reason why we are having these warm conditions is due to high pressure being situated down towards southern Texas. That is going to bring in that southerly warm air for everyone across the southern tier of the U.S. Now, by the end of next week, there could be a cold front that can take some of the bite off this heat. But the point is, these are going to be warm temperatures and very comfortable compared to what it was earlier in the fall. Now, we're going to send it off to Sammy at the wall for your national forecast.
Thank you, Michael. So if we take a look at our full U.S., you can see we have a little bit of cold front up here over in Montana and North Dakotas, where they're actually getting some snow right now. In contrast to Texas being our hotspot of 93 degrees over in Dallas. And actually Tallahassee's fairly warm too, over around 78 degrees. But we are staying pretty warm throughout the south, and our conditions up north are a lot colder. Today's low temps stuck around the 60s over in the southwest, but 49 in Tallahassee, which is actually quite close to Salt Lake City, which was also 49, and they are kind of at the bottom of that cold front over in that area, along with San Francisco also being around 50 degrees. In Washington, D.C. also around 51 degrees. So pretty much staying around low 50s, but all the way in the 30s, even 27 over in our northern half of the U.S. If we take a look at the national weather picture, you could see a series of fronts that are moving throughout the U.S. We have high pressure throughout our area, but this low front, or that the cold front, excuse me, is going to kind of stretch out throughout the next few days, condensing first and then finally getting a stretch in throughout Friday into Saturday. If we focus on our Montana, Idaho area, you can see the snow that has been moving throughout the area. Nothing too serious, but it's our first snowfall. A little bit of rain over in our Seattle area, making its way across over into our northeast. We have a little bit of rain coming from the Michigan area associated with some clouds, and that will move farther up towards Maine. Our 24-hour temperature change shows quite warm, associated with a warm front throughout the eastern half of the U.S., but where the cold front is, we have temperature change around 21 degrees over in Denver, being our cold spot compared to the eastern half of the U.S. And our dew point sticking around the 60s, making it very comfortable and actually very dry over in the northern half of the U.S., but that is all due to the fall weather, which is expected. And tonight's forecast, we will be sitting around 56 in Tallahassee, but that is pretty warm other than New Orleans and San Antonio, but it's going to be around the 20s over in the northern U.S. And now we are going to take a look at Jersey with Michael.
Yes, Sammy, I'm looking forward to giving you this forecast of New Jersey. I was actually born in the state of New Jersey, and I've lived there for 12 years, so I'm really looking forward to doing this forecast for you. And so let's look at the radar across the Garden State currently. There were some clouds earlier in the Jersey Shore and southern Jersey this morning, but those have burned off, and we have a pleasant afternoon. currently in the state of New Jersey. The lows this morning were 46 in Blairstown. That was the cool spot. And we had 50s in the central part of the state with 53 in Whiting and 57 in Williamstown and 60s on the Jersey Shore. Now you can notice that some of these temperatures were actually warmer than it was in Tallahassee this morning, which I find very interesting. And the current temperatures across the Garden State, 69 here in Hillsborough. Our warm spot is the capital of Trenton at 71 degrees. And cooler conditions along the Jersey Shore due to that onshore flow from the Atlantic. The current dew points are showing that we are in the 50s. And these are similar to the dew point we are experiencing in Tallahassee here currently. So that tells you that the air mass is pretty similar over there than it is here. And the futurecast is going to show that a cold front will approach the Garden State tomorrow. That will clear out the northern part of the state, and it will turn into a warm front tomorrow, bring some rain, Saturday actually, bring some rain to the Garden State. Let's look at some of the cities. Newark, New Jersey is showing that we are 73 on Friday, cooler on Saturday, and warmer on Sunday. Atlantic City, similar story. Trenton is a similar story as well. And let's send it off to the desk with Sammy, or let's send it off to Dylan.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Michael. We're going to take a local look, and the one thing to take note of when we're taking a local look is our low temperatures to our high temperature difference, right? You're going to see the lows around the regions in the 50s and 40s for 49 for us here in Tallahassee. You're going to see that high temperature be drastically different. You're going to see almost a 20 degree plus change, and what's really contributing to that is our solar cooling. So here's an explainer of what solar cooling is. Things needed for that are clear skies, calm winds in rural areas, and dry soil. We've had a lot of that. We haven't had a lot of rain this season. We have dry, calm winds, and that's really contributing to those low changes. At night, when the energy from the sun is absorbed by the ground, it is all released, and you get those big 20 degree plus changes throughout the day. You can see for tomorrow, our low is 46 in the morning, and we get up to 84 by the afternoon. Definitely very warm. Throughout the region, though, pretty uniform conditions, though we're seeing more cloud cover on the western side with that front that had tried to make its way to us. But again, with that relative humidity, you see drier conditions for us here, and with that front, wetter conditions on the western side of Florida. Winds coming out of the south, really driving a lot of that moisture for us here, but it's going to change over the next couple of days, so things are definitely going to be nice. Looking into tonight, though, we're going to see 74 degrees at the end of the show at 7 o'clock. By 10 p.m., we're going to drop down 10 degrees to 64. It's going to be in the 60s, and then it's going to be another cool and pleasant night by about midnight. Good for a late night stroll if you'd like to go for a walk when you're studying. But into tomorrow, we're going to wake up to #sweater weather. If you're waking up at 8 a.m., you're going to wake up to 56 degrees, and we're going to jump up to 84 by 4 p.m., so it's really going to be very warm. And here's the thing I want to point out. Last 7 days, we're going to see this trend of increase in temperatures between October 26th and October 28th. And we have that cold front on the 29th. And you see this trend again keep going back up throughout the last 3 days for us here. And looking at the next 7 days, we're really going to plateau. You're going to see these 80-degree upper 80s for the temperatures. You're going to see we're way above average on our highs and our lows. It's making it feel very warm and above November-like temps for us here in Tallahassee. For now, I'm going to send it back to the desk with Sammy to look at daylight savings time, right?
Yeah, actually, the time change will be November 5th around 2 a.m. for Tallahassee, and it will be Saturday night, Sunday morning. So make sure you change your clock 1 hour back, which means you will gain hours sleep. Yay! And actually, compared to spring, which is springing ahead, so we are falling back, which I know I get a little tripped out about. But the idea of daylight savings time actually was first brought up by Benjamin Franklin in 1784. It didn't come in effect for the U.S. until much later, but it has helped us, especially in farming, and we get that extra hour of sunlight, which is very nice. Now we're going to take it off with trivia.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sammy. We're going to look at a trivia question, which can be found on our Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather. Every Thursday, we have your trivia question on the show and on our Twitter. And every Friday, we have the answer on our show. So just tune in to watch us, or you can answer the poll online. And this week's trivia question is, which of the following states do not observe daylight savings time? With daylight savings coming this weekend, we're going to see those clocks fall back. Fall, get the pun. And some states, though, actually don't follow daylight savings time. So the 4 choices are Hawaii, Oklahoma, Alaska, and Indiana. So vote on our Twitter again to contribute to the poll, and you can find out the answer for the trivia question tomorrow on tomorrow's show. And we'll be back here in the lab every Thursday for your trivia question. So tune in for that. But right now, I'm going to send it back to the wall with Michael for an outdoors and events look.
Thanks, Dylan. So here are some of the events that are actually going on across Tallahassee, and we also have some sporting events we're going to show you in the nation. And so the North Florida Fair, as we were telling you at the beginning of the show, starts tonight. It goes through next week. For tonight, opening night, it's going to be perfect. As we were saying, clear skies, 74 degrees, calm winds, and it is going to be perfect for that event. And Thursday night football is tonight. Again, the Buffalo Bills are playing the New York Jets in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 60 degrees, very light winds from 5 to 10 miles per hour. And FSU softball have their Garnet and Gold games on Friday and Sunday. Friday is going to be 84 degrees, perfect weather. Remember to take some water to stay hydrated. And on Sunday, their second Garnet and Gold game is at 11 a.m., 73 degrees for that, light winds, perfect conditions for their game. And the Friday night block party is every Friday night before a Seminole Hall game. And so this Friday night is going to be a perfect Friday night for that block party, 84 at the beginning at 5 p.m. And by the time this event ends at 10 p.m., it will be at 68 degrees, light winds as usual. And FSU football has their game against the Syracuse Orange coming up from New York. And it is the Parents' Weekend game, so all you parents coming down, welcome to Tallahassee. And it is going to be warming up rather quickly throughout the game, starting at 77 at kickoff. And by the game ends, it will be at 85 degrees, light winds again. And FSU Swimming and Diving has their event versus Florida Southern for the men's team, and the women's team, they have it against Florida Southern, West Florida, and North Florida. 81 degrees for that. Perfect event, perfect conditions for anyone going to that event. And we have volleyball against FSU and FSU against Pittsburgh, and perfect conditions again going to the game, going to Tully. 80 degrees. Sunny conditions, east-northeast winds of 5 miles per hour. Women's basketball has their exhibition game against Columbus State. Perfect game, again, in terms of weather, 82 degrees and light winds. And the men's basketball has their exhibition game against Thomas University. And this is at 7 p.m., 74 degrees, perfect conditions again. And let's show you the golf index. It is going to be a 5 on the golf scale. I'm going out to the golf course, as I was saying earlier, tomorrow, and perfect conditions in terms of weather. I should not have any issues in terms of golf. Now, the 5-day forecast, again, will show you that we have 80s for the 80s. We're going to continue this warming trend with 80s, and then remember, daylight saving time is on Saturday evening. Remember to move your clock 1 hour back. And let's send it off to Sammy with the final look at our local forecast.
Yeah, we are going to be experiencing pretty much temperatures around 81 for the next few days, but 81 is our current high right now. Our low this morning was around 49 degrees. Very chilly mornings, and we will be experiencing that for Friday as well. Right now we are at 78 degrees, and it is partly cloudy, but the clouds weren't there pretty much all day, which was very nice. I know I got to sit outside for a little and enjoy that beautiful weather, especially with our humidity and dew point very low, making it very comfortable for us over in Tallahassee. Our satellite is showing nothing around the Big Bend area other than a few spotty conditions up north, but that will not come to us, and it will start to dissipate actually through Friday. Our temperatures around the Big Bend area consist of 77 in Perry, all the way up to 78 in Tallahassee and 79 over in Thomasville, making our way over into Wilma with 80 degrees. So pretty much staying around the high 70s, low 80s for your Tallahassee area. The relative humidity is very dry throughout much of the Big Bend area, 54 over in Tallahassee, a little bit less in Wilma with 50, but towards the coast we are in the 70s, making it feel a little bit more moist over in that area compared to a little bit more dry in the east. Our current winds are coming out of the south, moving north from Tallahassee, but throughout going into Friday, you could see those winds start to shift downwards from the north and kind of make its way slowly back up into Friday evening. And our tonight's forecast will be around 56 degrees, which will be kind of cold, so make sure you have a jacket if you're planning on studying at Stroger tonight. But it will be very nice out too. If you want to go see the stars, it will be very cool. Tomorrow's forecast, make sure you have your sweater weather because it will be chilly over at 8 a.m. and slowly start to warm up throughout the day, making 76 over into 84 for a nice warm afternoon. And going into the week ahead, we're going to be experiencing pretty much the same conditions throughout Friday into Monday, slowly building its way up, and maybe a chance of rain going into Wednesday, making temperatures a little bit colder throughout Thursday. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, so that 7-day forecast looks great. I don't see any issues in terms of weather, honestly. Yeah. I like how we have those cool mornings, and then we warm up rather quickly to those 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Over in the 60s, low 50s, which is very nice. I mean, I enjoy waking up, putting on a sweater in the morning.
Yeah, and that dew point is lower than it was earlier in the fall, so it feels very comfortable outside, especially for any outdoor activities. For me, going out to the golf course, I enjoy this weather.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook /FSU Weather, and even on YouTube. Hopefully you're watching us there /FSU Weather.
And don't forget about our Instagram at FSU Weather. We are always post pictures on there, and make sure to tag us on anything you have from here in Tallahassee and also across the nation.
I'm student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
And I'm student meteorologist Michael Anand. Have a great night.